Moscow newspapers were first. Then headlines around the world echoed the news. Russia had blasted a man-made moon into outer space. On every continent and in every land, the story of Sputnik 1 dominated the front pages. The Soviets had scored a scientific first, and the Moscow propaganda mill busily trumpeted the news.
You wanted to see me, Agent White?
Yeah, take a seat. You been busy down in Florida?
Yeah, I've been. A lot of work to do with Apollo.
Yeah, I bet. I'm sorry you had to come out all this way, but it's urgent.
How urgent?
Bigger than Apollo.
Well, unless you have a way to get to the moon, I doubt it.
Dr. Schaefer, I hear you're one of the best that NASA has in the Apollo program.
One of them.
So how long do you think it'll be before we can put an American on the moon?
If everything stays according to plan, within a decade.
You see, that's what some of us here are worried about.
NASA's been making significant progress towards the first moon landing.
Well, it turns out the Soviets have too. And their progress is much more substantial than we thought.
Why do you want me here?
March 1967. The Reds were about to be the first ones to orbit the moon. Saab was able to infiltrate Baikonur, buy us some time. If they hadn't, the Soviets would be on their way to the moon already. It's been a long time since their little accident, and the Soviets have been quiet, but they've been busy. These satellite images show increased activity at Kazakhstani cosmodromes.
Wow, this looks almost identical to the Saturn V.
Yep, the Soviets had their own new 3-stage rocket. It's starting to look like the moon might be red by the end of the decade.
We're reaching milestones like never before with Apollo. You can't be so sure that the Soviets will make it there first.
We aren't sure, but this is not a risk the United States can afford to take.
What's your plan then? If it's not Apollo, then what?
Mr. Schaefer, I'd like you to meet Stanley Kubrick.
He's perfect. Not now. I'm busy. What? Oh, it's you.
Stanley, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Milhouse Schaefer of NASA.
NASA. Right.
Mr. Kubrick, it's a pleasure to meet you. Your work on Spartacus was fantastic, as well as Dr. Strangelove.
Now that pleasantries have been exchanged, we have business to discuss.
As you know, I'm terribly busy working on my next film. The scheme of yours better be worth my time.
A scheme?
For Christ's sake, he doesn't even know yet?
Please, Stanley. Dr. Schaefer, we're about to do something so extraordinary. We're just going to make history. We're going to change it. In a sense, we're accelerating the Apollo project.
What are you suggesting?
A production, Doctor. The United States is going to beat the Soviet Union to the moon right here in this room.
That might be one of the most anfractuous ideas you could ever think of. This is preposterous. How could you lie about such a matter?
Can't you see, Dr. Schaefer? We won't be lying. We'll be producing history. And anfractuous? Hardly. We're making this one simple film to cut right to the chase. And you guys have to go to the moon after.
I don't believe what I'm hearing.
Everyone's going to believe it. They believe the Martians were invading in '38. They believe what we told them at Roswell. We all know what happened to Kennedy.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy?
Well, look. The point is, people will believe anything the authority tells them. The Reds are the same way. Damn commies wouldn't know the truth if we put it right in front of them.
No, I'll have no part in this. What you're describing is not only unethical, it's un-American.
I agree, Doctor. But this is bigger than any one of us. And I can assure you that the CIA is a very convincing agency.
Well, I take my work very seriously. What about the first 10 Apollo missions? Project Gemini, the Mercury mission? For what? You won't have my involvement or NASA's in this.
NASA has been involved.
Then why do you need me?
I don't need you, Dr. Schaefer. I want you. I want the best men for this project. And Dr. Schaefer, you are the best man to ensure complete scientific accuracy. And by the way, you know way too much to just waltz back down to Florida anyways.
God damn you.
Think about it, Dr. Schaefer. What good is Apollo or Mercury or Gemini if they beat us to the moon first? They already beat us to put the first satellite in orbit, first man in space, first spacewalk. This is a turning point in history, Dr. Schaefer. President Kennedy promised that we would have a man on the moon by the end of the decade. Now let's get out there and fulfill this prophecy.
Can it really be done? Fake an entire moon mission? Will people actually believe what they're seeing is real?
We now join CBS Radio.
This is Neil Strasser, CBS New York. Frank Mankiewicz, new secretary to Senator Kennedy, is making a statement in Los Angeles.
Senator Robert Francis Kennedy died at 1:44 a.m. today, June 6, 1968. With Senator Kennedy, at the time of his death, were his wife, Ethel, his sisters, Mrs. Stephen Smith, Mrs. Patricia Lawford, brother-in-law, Mr. Stephen Smith, his sister-in-law, Mrs. John F. Kennedy. He was 42 years old.
Turning point, gentlemen. History was just written.
All right. Let's get on with it.
It's up to you now. What do you say?
Jesus. Let's do it.
Gentlemen, this is about to be one giant leap for mankind.
I'll order some sandwiches.
Good call on the liverwurst, Stanley.
Yes, they make a fine sandwich at Viola's.
Let's swim to the moon.
Alright, Schaefer, I'm gonna need you to get me pictures of the lunar lander, both inside and out. I need them here by tomorrow afternoon.
All right.
And Stanley, how's the script?
It's finished.
And the set?
Not quite. I'm probably going to need another artist or two.
Another artist or two?
Mr. White, I understood that you wanted to ensure complete accuracy.
Yeah, but I don't want the whole goddamn Producers Guild to know what's happening. Alright, Stanley, you know the potential repercussions. Just do what you need to do, but make it quick. We need this done by July.
Next month?
Next year. Gotta make Nixon look good.
Wouldn't you want to wait till after the election?
Why would we?
They're ready for you, John.
Okay.
Stanley, do you want to use the 80 or the 50 millimeter?
Set up the 50.
Here we go.
Quiet on the set. Sound.
Check.
Camera rolling.
Scene 1A, take 1, cut.
Action.
Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now. Neil, we can see you coming. Buzz, this is Houston. F2, 1/160th second for shadow photography on the sequence camera. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.